though I stand with you forever, I will always be pro-Pluto as a full planet.
I'm sorry, but all this interstellar talk gets me a bit confused. Dr. Benzo, can you please explain to me the difference between an asteroid, a meteorite, and a comet?
Okay, so an asteroid is like a big, rocky, metallic hunk of space rock that lies between Mars and Jupiter usually. Some are closer to Earth and some are closer to Jupiter. And then a comet, as we're talking about, are basically dirty snowballs. And a meteorite is just a fragment of something that has fallen to Earth and been found by humans.
So a meteorite is found on Earth and classified in some way. Miss Caroline Shoemaker, can you please tell me more about that?
Oh yeah, of course. So, within the category of meteorites, there are 3 labels, shall we say, of meteorites. There's a stony meteorite, a stony iron meteorite, and an iron meteorite. And within the iron meteorite category, most iron meteorites are composed mostly of iron. They are usually, the iron in the meteorites is usually in the core. And within stony iron, usually they're 50% made of silicate, 50% made of nickel iron. And in stony meteorites, they are usually mainly composed of chondrites. And within the category of chondrites, you can have a chondrite meteorite or an achondrite meteorite. And within the category of chondrites, you can have an ordinary chondrite, a carbonaceous, which has a lot of carbon chondrite, or an enstatite meteorite, chondrite meteorite. Lots of meteorites.
So a meteorite falls to the ground and makes an impact, right? Dr. Benzel, I heard about this theory you came up with called the Torino scale. Can you tell me what it is and stuff?
So the Torino scale is a system of assessing the danger of an asteroid impact, ranging from 0 to 10, 0 meaning no harm at all, and 10 meaning there's a certain collision that will probably kill us all. And it's used by scientists to evaluate the situation and of an asteroid impact, and also for the public to understand the danger. And it's based on the kinetic energy of an asteroid or a comet, and also the probability that it's going to hit the Earth.
Speaking of meteorite impact, the first thing that popped up on my mind was the extinction of dinosaurs. My daughter also loved dinosaurs, and she got really upset when she learned in 2nd grade that dinosaurs no longer exist. So Dr. Alvarez, being the discoverer of iridium in the KT boundary, would you like to offer us a theory about the extinction of dinosaurs?
Sure. The KT boundary is a thin layer on Earth that separates the period where dinosaurs existed and the period after their extinction. So what I found out is that this layer has an extremely high distribution of iridium, and as we know, iridium is very rare on Earth but abundant in asteroids. So this evidence supports the theory that dinosaurs were killed when an asteroid hit the Earth.
Cool. My daughter would be really upset to hear that, but she'll get over it. She already met Dr. Whipple.
Talking about dinosaurs and their extinction, should we be worried about devastating impact from a falling asteroid?
Breaking news. Astronomers have discovered a 10-kilometer iron asteroid that's in certain collision with Boston, Massachusetts. On the scene, we have our top reporter, Love Harrison, with the local astronomer and astrophysicist that will discover the iron planet that will wipe out civilization as we know it. Let's get over now.
Thanks, Nia. I'm here on the scene with the astronomer who discovered the near-Earth object that is heading towards our planet. Could you please tell us about yourself?
Well, I am Mariana Gilbert. I am a PhD in astronomy and astrophysics at Smith College in Northampton, Massachusetts. On my off time, I do this small little talk show hosting thing on the weekends. I don't want to talk about it. I'm embarrassing.
Okay. Could you tell more about the object that is hurtling towards this beautiful city behind us?
Okay, so this asteroid is a 10-kilometer iron asteroid, which means it's pure metal, no rocks, minerals, or anything that could possibly lessen the impact. The impact is in about 20 hours, so Boston is kind of not in the best place right now. To put it simply, Boston is screwed. The crater that will ensue after this impact will be about 128 kilometers in diameter. Essentially, Boston will not be Boston anymore. Boston will be a crater. It will be either melted inside the crater or vaporized from the impact. On impact, the energy that will be emitted will be about 2.5 times 10 to the 23rd power in joules, which is that, if you think about it, that's almost the same amount of energy it took to actually form the planet, unlike the impacts of the particles in space. And to sum it up, this is going to be really bad.
Okay. If it's set for certain impact, what will become of Boston?
Boston will be a crater.
Wow. You hear that, America? This seems very major. Is there any plan for evacuation in place?
Well, from my point of view, as a PhD in astronomy and astrophysics, I don't mean to brag, but I think that an evacuation plan would just be silly at this point. So I just want you to imagine this for a second. Are you guys imagining right now? Okay.
Ready, Boston?
So imagine trying to get about 630,000 people, frantic people, out of a city in less than 20 hours, and they all think that they are somewhat better than the people next to them because they either have a child or they're impaired or whatever. Try imagine to get all of them out of the city through crowded roads in 20 hours. Can you imagine that? It would not go over well. So you can try to install like a mandatory evacuation, but it would probably just, like, all the rules would just go up in smoke, like the city in 20 hours.
Well, it looks like I need to be getting out of here. Can I get an amen?
Amen. Why are you talking to me?
It's my job.
Is it your job to be stupid? I don't think so. Yeah, everyone gang up on the sassy astrophysicist.
What would be the effects? What would be the effects around the world?
Okay, so the impact in itself will not really affect the whole world, but mostly it would affect Boston and America. Boston will be a crater. There will be a giant earthquake, which can be felt all the way onto the west coast, but not very major. But mostly it's the years ensuing after this impact that will be devastating for the globe. So on the impact, debris and ejecta will fly up into Earth's atmosphere in orbit, and then it will then rain down all across the whole planet, and it will essentially turn Earth's atmosphere into an oven, and it will cook you alive if you're on the surface. It will start forest fires, and everything will just be set ablaze. The dust in the atmosphere will block out the sun, so that means all plant life in water and on Earth will die, which will eradicate a source of food for many people. And without this lack of sunlight, people will start, humans and animals, they'll basically go extinct, either from starvation, thirst, or being murdered over food, which will happen. And but the good news is something like this hasn't happened for about since 65 million years ago. That number rings a bell, right? Yeah, this thing can take out the dinosaurs. It can most certainly wipe out every single one of you. You guys don't matter that much. You will all die in either the impact or the years ensuing. I'm not trying to be mean. That's just how it's going to be. Accept it.
Okay. All right. Is there anything NASA and/or other global astronomical societies could do to prevent this?
Well, say we had maybe like a month or more time of warning on this, we could maybe put in a plan of action to throw the asteroid off its orbit of colliding into the Earth. But in 20 hours, we can't really do much, so there's really nothing we can do. We're all going to die.
Not me.
Sure about that?
Could this be classified as a doomsday situation for New England and the East Coast?
Well, most certainly. So there's this thing called the Torino scale.